get my screen shared here. Okay, so I just have up the East Lansing is what's up here right now, but whatever office you might be helping with, there's a couple of places that you can look for information if they ask you on this new system to help with something. If we go to the home page, there's one area here that has unresolved claims. These claims that are in here under different carriers are in here usually because there's been some kind of a problem. There's a rejection. It didn't go through the electronic claims processing right. Something's missing, an ID number's wrong. There's something wrong that stopped or prevented this from completing the cycle. So they might at some point might ask someone to check on one of these. Let me get somebody from Livonia. Let's use Livonia. And so there are lists here in the unresolved, and when you tap on the or touch the carrier's name, you'll see that whatever patient is under there comes up. So when I touch on her name, then her claim comes up over here. It gives you already the subscriber ID, which you're familiar with from checking eligibility. It tells you the subscriber's Odell, but the patient's Patricia, and it tells you the date of service. And it's going to tell you the amount. And the services may not make any sense to you. That's fine. But basically they're all grouped by insurance carriers, and so sometimes they might ask you to come here, but possibly not, because these are claims with problems that you may not necessarily, don't know how to solve. If you look at this button and review, it's just again telling you what the services are, which may or may not be of any interest to you unless you're trying to match claims. But just for the sake of the exercise, I'll show you how you can find. This says it was a rejected claim, so there's a problem. You're not going to be asked to solve this, but the other place that you may be able to find information regarding old insurance claims is going to be outstanding claims, and this will actually run a report of outstanding claims, and you could probably just do, like, say we just wanted Delta of Michigan. And if that was your assignment, that you were supposed to follow up on some of these claims for Delta, there's only like 6 in here, but say you were supposed to follow up on claims for Delta of Michigan, you can run this report and put in just the carrier you're looking at, or if it's MetLife, just MetLife. It'll group these together for you so you see where the patients are. And then anything that has that line, it's a hyperlink. It'll take you to the patient's chart. So this took me to Odell because he's the subscriber, but Patricia Smith is our issue here. And then where the insurance information already is. The ledger is going to show us that we have a claim out. And as these ledgers get fuller, there's going to be more stuff on here, obviously. But right now, everything we're looking for here is one unprocessed claim. And there's one claim that was accepted but hasn't been paid. So December 18th. And, I remember what this is, I think. Anyway, December the 18th, and then we have one for December 24th. So we'll just use her as an example. Let me get my toolkit up. So same information that you've always used to get eligibility is what we're going to use for this. So we're going to take the same ID number, just like you have been. Only now, come with me, toolkit. Okay, now we're going to put Delta in here, and I'm going to pull her up. So again, same thing you're used to. Odell is the subscriber, but we're going to go down to Patricia, the patient. And now, instead of going where you would normally go for information about the patient under the member and you check their details, we're going down here to family claims history is the first place we're going to look. And this is a search engine portion of Delta that allows us to look for history or claims for this person up to 90 days. Sometimes if we need older, we can do a little older. And it says I only want to select member just for Patricia Smith. Sometimes in certain circumstances, you might pull the whole family. Here's where this is going to help you here, the business search options for the selected provider. In this case, because you're not familiar with all the providers, I would choose across the whole business. So that means, because I have Livonia's toolkit up, that means every doctor that's in this office, it will search Livonia's tax ID for any doctor in the office. So this is going to be your best bet to choose this one instead of going in and changing it from Dr. Ascari to Dr. Ahmad to Dr. K to Dr. You don't want to go back and forth, back and forth. So just pick this one so it gives you all of the doctors. We're going to search all procedures, and then we're going to hit our search button. And this is going to bring up all of the claims under Patricia Smith. And you're looking to match date of service. And these are the claim numbers. And then this, of course, over here is going to tell you what the status is, if it's paid or denied. Right now, we'll just take the one from the 24th, just so you can see what it looks like. So, okay, you see your date of service, and you see your claim number, you see that it was paid. You might see, like in this case, look at December 18th. There's 1, 2, 3 claims for that date of service. And there are 3 different claims here, and 2 have been denied, 1 was paid. But this claim on that date of service, there was 3 different things entered, sent to Delta. What we're going to pull up, we'll take this one. You touch the green hyperlink, this claim number is going to bring this screen up for you. This is called an explanation of benefits. This is what gets sent to the patient. This is what we use at the office to get information about how the claim was paid. It will be referred to as an EOB, explanation of benefits, and they shorten it to EOB. So that's how it's referred to. If you hear us talking about EOBs, that's what we're talking about, the explanation of benefits for the claim. So again, it's going to tell you that there's a patient. Here it says Dr. Ahmad did this patient's work, the date of service and everything. Everything's going to be here, and then it's paid. And when you look down here, this is the details that I'm looking for because I want to know how these services got paid. You don't really need to understand this. I'm not going to get into all the details of what all this means. Basically, when you're helping us, all you're looking for is this document. This is the document. It shows a payment. It shows the right date of service. And if you had to match up claims, sometimes if somebody's here, like, and they see 2 different providers, there could be 2 dates of service that were the same with different code numbers because they might have seen the hygienist and then decided to stay and have some fillings with the doctor. So there could be 2 claims on the same day that might have been paid. So this is what we'd be having you search for, is this explanation of benefits. And you would do the same thing that you do with eligibility, is you would go ahead and print this, and we're going to save it as a PDF. And we would hang on to that. Now, in this instance, with the PDF, depending on who you're working with and what your assignment is, this should go to the document center of the patient's chart. But you may also want to put them in an email to the manager you're working with, because sometimes it's easier. Like for me, I may just want to open the email and open up every PDF and just start posting, rather than going to each patient, going to the document center, then I have to open it up, then I need to put it on my other screen, then I need to post it. It might be faster that way, but it would be attached to the patient's chart. And you just make your PDF file and save it, and you're all done. So it's pretty simple. It's just a different search place where you would be looking for information. Just make sure there's a search here. Don't get it confused with this one. This one works, but it is not as detailed, and sometimes it will miss claims. So I always go to the search for the member. Under here, this family claims history. Okay. So it will always be here is your best place to go. So it's relatively simple. You're just looking for the claims in each office and you're putting in all the same information. You're just going to a different area in Delta. And that's how you would research those claims. That will tell the person that is, that you're helping, whether it's been paid and we can post it, or whether it's denied and it needs further attention. Or it may be that it's denied because the patient's out of money and we have to just close the claim and zero them out. So this is pretty simple as far as how to move around in this Delta toolkit. As you probably have seen, if you've been making calls and things, you're probably finding out Delta Dental of Michigan's like one of the easiest ones to work with. As far as getting information, gathering information, and trying to make sense of what's in front of you. Anybody have any questions about those? No?
No, Sandy.
Okay, so I think some of you are working on some of the other carriers where you're actually calling and asking for that EOB and it's being faxed into the office, correct?
Yes, Sandy. I was working with MetLife, Johar and I. We were working with MetLife and we were calling the insurance carrier, and then we were telling them to fax the EOBs.
Okay, so this way it's right in front of you. Hang on one second. Hello? No. I've been there since before I moved. No, I haven't been there since, what was it, May? Yeah, so this is what you're gathering, what you just looked at. It's something similar to that when you're calling.
Yeah. Yes, but this is relatively very, I mean, calling MetLife and staying on line for a very long time. This is so much easier and would save a lot of time.
Yeah, now you guys should have for MetLife, there is in your LastPass, you should have MetLife. I know
Yeah.
Comfort Dental has a MetLife, Livonia has a MetLife. I don't think that Grand Ledge or East Lansing is set up with a toolkit for MetLife, but the other two offices are. And a lot of times you can find stuff on MetLife's toolkit.
Yes, I did try on MetLife's website, but I wasn't able to pull up any claims. So that is the reason why Johar and I, we gave call to MetLife.
Were they not there, or were you not? Do you think you weren't searching it properly?
I mean, I just went under claims in MetLife and then entered the social security number. And then it said that there are no claims for this patient.
Okay. Yeah, MetLife seems to be really far behind.
Yes.
And if you're right, when you go to MetLife, if you put the social security in, there's two little buttons. You choose either eligibility or claims. And then if
Yes.
it's a family, it might bring up all the patients in the family, so you just pick that person. But if it's
Yes.
saying there's no claims for them, then yeah, they seem to be very far behind.
Yes, they are. And they were always asking if the claim was sent electronically or via mail.
Yeah,
So, yes.
yeah, they seem to be really far behind. So,
Yes,
okay, so this is just a really much easier way. And then,
absolutely. Very easy.
Yuta, do you guys have in your LastPass, do you have the National Delta toolkit?
Yes, we do. We do have National Delta.
Okay, so the National Delta toolkit would then cover the other states like Delta of Pennsylvania or Delta of Michigan or Delta of somewhere else. It will tell you in here. That Ohio and Indiana, those will be on this Delta toolkit. Also, I don't know why Delta of Tennessee also comes up on Michigan's. They show up there also. For some reason, there's a couple of employers that are that, but it'll tell you which ones, like these 3 states are covered in this toolkit. If you were wondering. So, but this one will be really easy to use. And your national one should give you, obviously, as you were saying, it's going to be much faster if you can use the online services rather than waiting on hold forever and ever and ever and ever. My suggestion is if you're calling on claims and you are on hold for a very long time, then usually what I do is I just write down my patient's name, their name, their social security, date of birth.
Mhm.
But then I keep going, like I'll keep checking eligibilities or doing other stuff while you're waiting on hold. And then when they
Yes,
come to the line, finally, you can at least give them the name and the social security while you go back and pull up your information. So it's in front
yes,
of you.
yes,
Instead of just sitting on hold doing nothing.
absolutely.
Okay, anybody have any other questions? And if not, then we'll